So this whole music journey is as amazing as it is. It's also the absolute hardest, most challenging thing I've ever had to do in my life. Sometimes I always say I'm living the dream, but the dream isn't easy. I was born and raised in Berlin, in Germany, and I'm Tamil. My dad is from Bangalore and my mom's from Madurai. I lived in India for a year as a kid, a couple of years when I was 5 years old, but then I came back to Berlin and I went to an American school in Berlin. So my background is a bit cosmopolitan or messed up. The school I went to had a very big music program. It's kind of based on the American system. So we had an amazing music teacher, big band teacher, and I got into music that way. Music gave me an identity. It was something I was good at, and the second I found that and got to play in a band, you find a place. And I think that was what was really important for me. You find like-minded geeks. You find people that, just like you, just want to sit in a library and listen to music all day. And I feel really fortunate that I found that, because I felt I definitely didn't fit in anywhere else. I got into the Royal Academy, to be honest. I still don't know how. I came to London and I auditioned and I got in. But part of me sometimes think, did I only get in because they needed to fill their female Indian quota? Or did I get in because I was good? But I try not to overthink it, because then I don't want to get into my head. When I came out of the academy and wasn't sure which way to go, what path to take, you know what? What really helped me is just I had a couple of good people around me. I had mentors. I had a teacher called Richard Niles that took me under his wing. You just need people believing in you, man. I think we all do that at every moment in our lives. If you're young or if you're grown, it doesn't matter. And having one or two people just kind of say, we're going to put time into you because we see something, that's all I needed. I just kept working and working and working and working and working and working. And I didn't take no for an answer. So I didn't care that I was female and there weren't a lot of females doing what I was doing. I didn't care that I was Indian and there's not a lot of Indians doing what I was doing. I just kept cracking on. And I kind of rose up the ranks of the session world quite fast. So I ended up playing for Anastasia, for the Sugar Babes, for Jason Derulo, for Taya Cruz, for loads of different artists. And then I got the big call. I got a call to play for Rihanna. So when I was touring with Rihanna, we were playing in LA, the Staples Center, and Eminem was our surprise guest. So this was when Love the Way You Lie was #1. And so the whole day was amazing. It was really exciting, practicing with Eminem, who's ridiculous, amazing, just wow. And he was a surprise guest. So in the encore, we started just singing the chorus, and then all of a sudden Eminem kind of like jumped out of a lift, and I've never in my entire life heard 20,000 people scream so loud. None of us could barely hear the music because the crowd went insane. Touring is pretty intense, it's hardcore. Kind of going 8 months of the year, and as amazing as it is, I saw the entire world. I mean, it's beautiful. I've gone to places I've never even dreamt of, But something in me was kind of like, wow, is the rest of my life gonna be this? At this point, I'd done all the main stages I wanted to have played. I'd played Wembley Stadium 3 times at this point. I'd played Madison Square Gardens. I played Staples Center. So it kind of, in terms of the session world and the big stages, I'd done it and it was amazing. But I kind of, in my heart, I knew I needed a bit of a change. One of the hardest things for me was to decide what type of music I wanted to produce or what my own voice was, because for my entire professional career, my job was to replicate what's on the records, So it's not really that much about my personal touch. Of course, you get moments here and there where you get a little solo, a nice intro, but overall, we're there to support the artist, to play the record, and to do as our musical directors told us to. And I was great at my job. I was an amazing sideman, really. I was very dedicated and hardworking. So when it came down to doing my own thing, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So the first 6 months of me being signed were weird. But then, all of a sudden you slowly start growing into this freedom. I definitely have moments where I'm just like, this can't be real. How can some Indian chick from Berlin have traveled the world a couple of times, be making her own music, have a studio that's booked out the whole time? I mean, how is this even my life, And I'm doing what I love. Every day I get to come in and do what I love. When I was young, I remember having these weird fantasies. It's so weird thinking about it now, of actually my brown skin just being a mask, and actually underneath I'm a white princess, and taking off the mask in the middle of the school ground. I think that's what I associated with beauty, success, popularity. That's definitely not the Indian kids. Well, I was the only Indian kid, and I wasn't the popular one, But so it's, and I think it's when you're in a predominantly white country, school, church, all of that, you can't help but feel out of place, And it took me a long time to really feel proud about who I am and where I come from. And I have London to thank for, because coming to London and seeing all the different cultures doing whatever the hell they want to do and being proud of it really gave me that confidence of, I am who I am, and I love who I am, and I love who my parents are, and I love who my family is, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to be embarrassed about it anymore. But there were some tricky situations back in the day, for sure. We come in so many different shapes, sizes, forms, colors, and that I don't think is reflected either in the media. So if you do have Asian girls, they're the light-skinned, long-haired ones. It's never chicks like me. When you're young, you don't realize there's beauty in being unique, I think, especially if it's not encouraged. You just feel shy about it, you feel embarrassed about it. That's what I would want to say to the younger me. It's like, don't worry about it. All your little quirks and the music I listen to, even though it's across so many genres, it's fine. That's ultimately what's making me the musician I am today. All the people kind of, saying, but she's technically not good enough, or she's not this or not that, and people would say that straight to my face. And obviously when you're young, that's awful and it's painful. Like, that's what makes me me nowadays. That's what people come to me for nowadays. And I wish I would have known that back then, So being a woman in the music industry, and especially being a woman of color, definitely does come with its challenges. When I first started playing keyboards, for the first couple of years, I was only booked on mime gigs. So only booked on gigs where I was pretending to play on telly. And it was so crazy for me. And another band would have the real gig. And I was like, if you guys would just let me play, audition, I can show to you that I'm absolutely as capable of anyone to do the jobs. But I was only booked for the ones where they're just like, have your hair out open and look pretty. And for a year, I remember, there was 1 year in my career where I pretended to play more than I played. And it's crazy. And the only reason is that I'm female, of course. I used to get told a lot when I first started on my own journey, on my production journey, that my music was too versatile, and that I needed to narrow it down, and I needed to, listen to so-and-so, listen to so-and-so. And initially I kind of tried to do that, and now I'm just kind of thinking, who cares? I'm just going to do whatever I hear in my head. The one thing that unifies all my tracks is the piano playing on it. Most of my tracks feature the piano and feature really nice chords, because that's my main thing. But apart from that, I would just say it's just a mixture of all kinds of different things. But it's kind of like me, like Indian, German passport, American school, London address. I mean, that's how my music sounds. My greatest inspirations, honestly, there are loads of musicians out there that inspire me, but it's my parents. My dad was raised in a one-bedroom flat with 7 siblings with no electricity. And I'm his daughter, and this is my reality. I mean, that's just, it's just, what more inspiration do you need? than somebody coming really from nothing and giving us everything. It makes me quite emotional. The dream isn't me just like, traipsing to the studio and, no, the dream is hard. It does involve sleepless nights. It does involve me crunching numbers every single month. It does involve me sometimes working with annoying people, but I love what I do. So the goods outweigh the bad every single time, every single day. And I'm just really happy doing what I do. My hopes, my wishes, my ambition. I've got big plans. And the ultimate dream, and I'm gonna put it out there, it's the first time I've said it on camera, is ultimately me, my brother and sister want to have a community center where the studios are on the second floor, because we really believe they're involved in youth work, and that's the dream. My dream is to have a space, a big space where families feel welcome, kids can come in, I can come downstairs and help out, and my business is run at the top, So I don't know, it's a big plan. That's the dream of all dreams, is to be able to combine all of our passions, which is music, the social enterprise, the community work, into one big melting pot.